We have a fifth line day. We're in gate 54, the marrying maiden, the gate of ambition, and the fifth line is called Magnanimity. The fourth and fifth lines have the capacity to deal with the other side. They are equipped for it. And you may have noticed something. Neither of them have a polarity. They are both singularities. They are both very specific. When you get to the fifth line, you know that it is being projected on. And what we have already learned from the first line about the nature of ambition is that it works best as the power behind the throne. When you get to the fifth line, everybody assumes that the 54-5 is the power behind the throne. There is always that assumption, even if it's not true. They're the ones who are really in charge, people say. That's the projection. And that's why it's called magnanimity. The way everybody sees the 54-5 is that they are willing to help others. They are magnanimous. But without the deep recognition that by allowing them to help you, they will go beyond you, they will use you as a way to move up the ladder. Not use you in the negative sense. It's just the mechanic. In the exaltation, the natural authority and actualizing spirit that in a position of power can have genuine and fruitful relationships with the less advantaged, brackets, as long as they are in service and make no demands, close brackets. The energy for actualizing that despite this power fuels fruitful relationships with others. No polarity, so no detriment. Notice that it says in a position of power. They can't have genuine and fruitful relationships if they are not in power. And they are not in power all of the time. Due to the fact that this person is always projected on to be the power behind the throne, it doesn't matter what job they have, as long as they are recognized for their power and everybody treats them accordingly. They will continue to give their energy if that's the case, supporting the people around them who need that energy to keep on succeeding. If they are not given the respect of that power, then all kinds of problems can come out of that. Because for them, that respect, that recognition is absolutely essential. They cannot be magnanimous unless they have people around them who are going to respect them and recognize their real power. This is essential. And as long as that real power is recognized, it's okay. If you are the power behind the throne and the king treats you like a god, everything's going to be fine. You don't have to be the king yourself. You can have a good time with the king, who is actually lesser than you, and you can have a good time with all those people down there that you don't really want to deal with because you get that recognition. But if the king treats you like a servant and yet you are the kingmaker, this will not work. So the 54-5 is given a great advantage. It is assumed that they will be the source of power. It is assumed that they are the ones who can help bring about success. Therefore, they will get their opportunities to bring their practical solutions, just like all fifth lines. We know the nature of the fifth lines. They are only successful when they are projected on and when they build up tension in the projection. They don't always show off their goods. We know that they need to have isolation in order to wait for that moment of crisis where they can bring their practical solution, because all of this is the essence of the fifth line. Here in the 54, this is about ambition when it counts, because these are not generally ambitious people. If the general was truly ambitious, he would never give up power once he had it. He wouldn't be able to. So it's not about ambition in that sense. It's about waiting for the right moment to fulfill that ambition, to bring that practical solution, to be able to gain in that experience. And that goes back to timing. So much goes back to timing. Maybe everything goes back to timing. To be on time in your life, it's nothing to do with the illusion of the relative Einstein universe of time and space. No, where you are is who you are, always. To be on time, to be in the right place at the right time is just about being yourself, nothing more. You are an instrument that is designed to be in tune and on time. Gate 53 in the fifth line is where we find the grounding, and it is called assertion. Beginnings are deeply mystical. The cyclical process is a magical thing because we are constantly on the move. Mostly we forget that. We move in space, the planets move around the sun in their cycles, everything has its cycle. So even if you are climbing up the ladder of ambition, you must be correct in that movement. You have to operate within your mechanic always, and then you receive the gifts that are there for you. Venus is moving into gate 37 today at 1511, the solar plexus gate of the family, friendship. What value does the bargain have to you? What value, what value do you place on a handshake? The moon has been in gate 27 since 1:35 this morning. This is the sacral gate of caring and nourishment and being selfish in all of those matters. Next, it moves into gate 24, gate 24 at 11:08. This is the individual ajna gate of rationalization, the gate of return. It returns over and over again to the inspiration that is received by gate 61, rationalizing it in order for it to be communicated eventually through the 4323. This is a knowing. It comes in a pulse energy, which means that you can't rely on it and you can't plan for it. The moon transits into gate 2 at 2041. We are staying with individuality today as the moon travels up and down that very central channel of the body graph. Here in gate 2, we have the gate of the driver, the receptive, the ultimate yin. This is where the magnetic monopole sits, attracting to us all the forces that we are meant to meet in this life. If you have gate 2, have you ever experimented with how alcohol makes you feel? Or any stimulants or depressants or anything like that? Anything that says on the label, do not drive or use heavy machinery when consuming this product. Our driver takes our form through life. Does it operate better or differently depending on what fuel you put into it? The final moon gate today is gate 23 at 6:13. The moon is now moving through its throat gate cycle. This is the throat gate that says, I know, regardless of whether it actually does or not. It's more individuality here. So all day we have the potential for melancholy or for empowerment or for pulses of inspiration. Gate 23 is a projector energy. It operates well when it waits for that recognition and for an invitation. Wonderful. Thank you very much for joining me. We're already on the 6th line tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you then for the top of the hexagram. And we'll discover what's coming next and look at where we've got to. Until then, enjoy line 5 and I will see you tomorrow. Go gently.